Single Simulcast is about a lot of things. This podcast may make you laugh, cry, or pound your fists into your desk. If you hear something you like or something you don't, leave a voicemail at 916-572-9016 or email us at singlesimulcast@gmail.com.
1. Single Simulcast.
Trigger warning. This show contains conversations regarding sexual assault, domestic violence, and pedophilia. Please be aware before entering this show that at the 31.5 minute mark, we begin talking about that guy, XXX, whatever his name is, and the horrible things he did to black women. Also be aware that Sarah Jessica Parker looks like a horse, and we apologize for nothing that was said during this show. She does look like a horse, and Kathy Griffin does look like a serpent. Enjoy your day. No, not even gonna, unless I'm recording. Single Simulcast, episode 303. Shantae is not with us this episode. She'll be back next week. But I am fortunate to be joined by Candice and Sommere. Candice, we need to, I'm gonna get to y'all's, telling something about the show and all that in a second, but I need to get to Sommere being snatched for the summer.
Yeah.
What's that mean?
That means I want my waist cinched. I want the fat gone. So, I'm trying to be snatched. I'm trying to look like a snack. You know what I'm saying?
And so not drinking is going to get you there? I feel like that's just torture.
Well, it has, how do I put it? It has liquid calories. So you're just drinking your life away. You're drinking all the calories and it turns into carbs, and carbs turn into sugar, and they stick right in that midsection. And that's what I'm trying to get rid of. So no liquor for right now. Just for 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay. For 2 weeks. I was about to say, aren't you a part of a podcast that kind of you got to drink?
Yeah, that's the thing. But you know what? I will be drinking water, and I can review the finest of waters in the meantime. So you know what? It'll be all good.
Oh, nigga, I was in Oregon this past weekend for my cousin's graduation, and went into Red Lobster, which I never do. Huh?
Black people there?
Yeah, you know what? My daughter and I played Count the Black People other than us, and we got to 8 in the weekend.
Oh, man.
And this, this is at Oregon State University.
Yeah, Oregon has black people, not niggas. It's a difference.
Okay.
I think they all went home for the summer because I didn't see not one black. I saw 8. Let me be honest, and let me be honest. I saw 6 because 2 of them were biracial. So that, I guess, 7 altogether. No, wait, 1 drop rule. 8. I'll give them that. I'll give them the whole body frame. I saw 8 black people there, and it was like not The Walking Dead, The Sixth Sense. They didn't know that they were black. It was weird. Like, they were looking at us like we were gonna rob them because there was a lot of us there, and they were looking around like, where's security? And we were like, ain't nobody trying to hurt you. We just want. But Red Lobster, we went to Red Lobster for my cousin's graduation celebration because we're black, and the folks at Red Lobster were like, hey, thanks for coming in. We just want to tell you before you sit down that there's something going on with the water in the entire city.
Ew.
So we gotta kind of serve you bottled water, which costs $1 per bottle. There's also no sodas unless you get canned soda, which is $2.50 per can. Or you can have juice.
What kind of gentrified Red Lobster is this where you can't get no free refills or water?
It was a scam. It sounds like a scam, man.
Because everywhere else was serving water like it was nobody's business except for Red Lobster. They were like, nah, we ain't going to do that to you. We don't want to hurt you. Instead, we'll just hurt your pockets.
Yeah, it sounds like they were recently shut down by the health department. So they was like, you know what? We can't miss out on all the money. So we just not going to give y'all drinks. Y'all can get this food.
Y'all can, and they said it too. They were like, and the lobster and the crab, just so you know, we cooked it in bottled water.
Well, that's an upgrade. Like, That's a lie, honestly. You know that shit is frozen.
It is.
You know it comes flash
Ain't none
frozen.
of that shit real.
Right. They don't even have real lobsters in the lobster tank. Get out of here.
They might, but they don't. That ain't what they giving you. Like, look, we gonna show them these in the front, but we got another another fish tank in the back, and we just take it from that fish tank and put it in this fish tank. And then after we close, we just put them right back. Take that big one out the freezer.
Lobster.
That's the one they want.
We got rubber lobster in the back.
Y'all go ahead and get this wind up lobster right fast.
Y'all get drunk and full off them biscuits, and then we're gonna give you this rubber lobster and imitation crab.
Not imitation crab. Come on, do better, niggas.
Why? It's so cheap. Like, if you get the actual crab legs, they gotta give you real crab. But if you get like crab linguine, you can't tell me that's real crab. You can't. The only thing they serve in there is shrimp and a hint of crab with fake crab all around it.
I knew they wasn't serving real lobster or crab when the rock lobster be like $24.99. Now, had a lot of lobster in my day, and that shit will run your pocket.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, when you go to like a steak place that has lobster and they serving it for like $79, and you go to Red Lobster and they're like, nigga, look, open up their coat, look what we got, nigga. We got this lobster right here for $12. How you serving lobster for $12? And it's all you can eat for Lobster Fest, nigga. Let's go, y'all. Let's go. I don't even know where we're at right now, but this ain't real. This is a trap. It's a setup. Get out.
Man, I don't even think the shrimp is real over there. It's all a lie.
In the sunken place, the Red Lobster.
For real. For real.
Summer, tell them something about yourself. Tell them something about Bad and Boozy. The floor is yours.
Oh, well, I'm an Aries. I'm not single. I'm currently booed up, booed up. You know what? I'm out here in California living my life like it's golden. Shout out to my sis D, who ain't on the show with me tonight, but I still got to put some respect on her name. And you know what? I had a long day at work. Just got off of vacation for 10 days, so this is only my second day being back, and I'm already not with the shit. So I just really wish I would have married a millionaire instead, so I don't have to work. I'm over it. I'm over it.
I wish I didn't have to work either.
Man, working is dumb. Like, the principle that you have to get up and leave the comfort of your home to get in your car and drive for 30 minutes to an hour to a building you don't want to be in that probably has asbestos and then be monitored for like 8 hours a day.
I am very triggered right now.
I'm saying it's dumb. Like, can I just work from home? Like, why do I have to go into the office? I don't understand.
And everything I do can be done from home, and I tell my boss that all the time. That pisses me off. I wasn't even mad before. I'm mad now.
I'm sorry.
You done put this on a whole nother level. Now I'm hostile. Like, I'm about to call him like a motherfucker tomorrow. Why aren't you coming in, Rashanii? You know why.
Because I should be working from home, damn it.
And everything, literally every single thing. Like, they give you the password to the network. I can log into my email. They email me all the bills I got to pay. They email me everything. Why am I at work?
Yeah, that's what they can do. They can forward your calls to your cell phone or your landline if you still have one. Or if you were born before 1978, you probably still have a landline. You have internet at home. You got a computer. Why can't we all just work from home?
Yeah.
Candice, tell them something about yourself. Tell them something about the show.
Oh, so, yeah, it's Candice. I've been on here before. It's always good to be back. I am 1/3 of the co-host from Ratchet Ramblings podcast. And, yep, you can go to cspn.us and listen to all of the episodes. You can also listen to the other podcasts on the network. Also, I'm going to be starting a new podcast with my husband called Not So Newlywed Podcast.
Oh.
And we are stripping the fairy tale off relationships because I don't think people really understand what relationships look like that the media doesn't put in your face. And I am too sick of going to work every day. Yeah. I find myself entering useless sweepstakes, hoping I can win, like randomly win $250,000 from HGTV, and that shit never works.
Nah.
Like, at this point, I'm disgruntled, and I sent an email like, this shit is rigged, and so yeah, I'm tired of working. I gotta hit the lottery or something. I gotta live my best life. I gotta buy some plastic surgery.
Man, you too?
I really got to shape up and ship out on this shit. I too am an Aries.
Yes.
So we are here today.
But for the plastic surgery, can we get a 2-for-1? Because like they can take whatever gut I have. That's
like
it.
A group special, like how they do with cruises. That's.
I mean, are we able to no longer have canceled Groupon? Because I've seen some shit on there. Like they trying everything to get niggas to come back.
I ain't doing that.
All right, just checking. Just checking.
I'm trying to go to Dr. Miami, okay? Dr. Miami don't have no Groupon.
Well, this one was Dr. Jersey. And
Yeah, I don't even like how that sounds.
Was it that black lady that was dancing in the operating room? Was that her? She on Groupon?
No, that would have been okay. This was a Laotian dude, and I don't think he graduated from anywhere. I think he was just trying real hard.
That black lady wasn't even an actual surgeon, right? She's like a dermatologist.
Yeah,
but she
doing
slept
plastic
Holiday
surgery.
Express last night.
I was like,
Man.
wow, she doing Brazilian butt lifts at a Courtyard Marriott.
Man.
Room service.
Oh. It was like, did you order the lobster and the tummy tuck?
Right, in the back of Red Lobster, huh?
If you're going to get that plastic lobster, we're going to go ahead and put that in you right there.
Baby, surprise. I thought you was taking me to Red Lobster. Soon.
Why your booty smell like catfish?
So,
like tips in here.
So we have a thing that we've been doing for the past couple of weeks called AW. That stands for Adventures in Working with White Women. The first episode that we did I was really talking about an adventure of me working with white women, but then I realized that all around the world there's people who have to deal with the indignities of working with white people and basically with white women. And so I just decided that every week we're going to find a story of some white person, some white woman that just went a little bit too fucking far. Last episode we were talking about the Jersey mayor whose mom put out a racist diatribe against Korean Americans in a city where it's comprised solely or mainly of Korean Americans, and her husband's the mayor of the said city. This episode, though, we gonna just be real up front with it. This woman got nerve. Comedian Kathy Griffin recently expressed that she has a problem with her fellow comics who refrain from using political themes in their stand-up routines, specifically as it pertains to criticizing Donald Trump. In a recent interview, however, she set her target on one particular comedian who adopts this practice, Kevin Hart. And her critique of his approach rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. While speaking with USA Today, Griffin expressed that, in her opinion, Hart is a pussy for not incorporating Trump into his material. Quote, I do not feel like this is such an anxiety-ridden time for everyone that there is a thirst for all kinds of comedy, she said. And look, if you want to not hear about Trump at all, go see Kevin Hart. He doesn't even mention Trump.
Jesus.
Griffin? First of all,
go for it.
Because yeah, I really cannot, like, white women are,
the worst, the pits. I mean,
they are, and I just really have an issue with her narrative. Like, 53% of her sisters did not vote for Trump. Like, you are just really focused on the wrong shit. Like, I'm not even no Kevin Hart fan, but it's just like when it comes to white women and then saying anything about black people, like, I'm rooting for everybody black. Like, well,
not almost everybody.
no, I'm not.
So, Griffin, who is currently embarking on a tour where she makes it a point to consciously bash the president and his administration, went on to drag Hart some more. However, this time she attempted to claim that his race should be a prerequisite for his obligatory public hate for the president. Quote, I personally think that it's a pussy move because he's a black man, she continued. But I guess he's selling more tickets than I ever will.
As long as you know, bitch.
Throughout
you
her
hating from
statement
outside
and
the
critique,
club because you can't get in.
Throughout her statement and critique, she never once criticized her fellow white comedians who chose to stay away from political themes in the same breath. In fact, this appeared to be a major point of concern for those who read her comments, who then fucking roasted her on Twitter like she deserved.
Man. The thing I don't understand about her and other people like them is like they always want to turn it around and say, well, black people should be doing more. Like, just like when they said Obama should be responsible for trying to solve racism. Like, first of all, bitch, secure your white people. Okay, this has nothing to do with us. We're not responsible for critiquing the president that y'all voted for because, as y'all know, we didn't vote for that dude like that. So it's not on us to call him out. Talk to your sisters, talk to your mama, talk to your bald-headed granny, talk to all your kinfolk and get them to start criticizing him live and in person. And just because you got your dusty wig dragged for trying to come up with some bullshit with a decapitated Trump, now you big, bad, and bold and you want to talk shit about what everybody else is doing. No, boo-boo. Worry about yourself.
And you are ugly. I just want to point that out.
Hey,
man,
you are ugly.
Man, Kathy Griffin looks like a griffin, okay? That's all I know.
She look like a horse. She just
Bruh.
Like, go chew some hay and don't worry about what the fuck black people doing over here.
We ain't letting you in the club, and ain't no way to you getting in the club. This is like somebody who tried so hard to get in with black folks and then wouldn't be let in. Then all of a sudden was like, well, fuck y'all anyway. I don't want to be there. Oh, are you opening the door now? Oh, okay. Can I come in? Come in.
Man,
can I just sneak in right there?
She's the worst.
Goldblum in.
She thought black people was gonna run to her defense when she did that Trump shit, and we was just all looking away and whistling.
Because we didn't.
And we was like that gift.
Jump Street
from the gate. That's not our nigga.
In
That's
our eyes,
nigga.
he's been decapitated, so we don't even care. Like
that nigga don't exist. Like,
you ain't
for real, we don't know him. We are Mariah to the situation. We don't know him.
It's like, hey, ain't you got a daddy? Nah.
No, sure don't.
I don't got it. Nah, and I don't got it. Ain't you got a president right now? Nah, I ain't got no president. Be treated like a creeping man or something. Ain't you got a girl? Nah, I ain't got no girl. I'm single. Ain't you got a president? Nah, right now.
I got a governor.
I got a governor. That nigga.
That's about it, man. We got an Oprah and a governor. That's it.
I mean, they said they was gonna elect somebody back in like November of 2016 and shit, but I ain't seen that shit. I ain't seen nothing.
It got canceled.
Right. Now, Kevin Hart and his camp's response was quite simple. Quote, Kathy is the last person on Kevin's mind, believe me. Sources close to the 38-year-old actor told Fox News. Everyone has something to say about Donald Trump, and that's the reason Kevin isn't speaking on him. Kevin honestly feels the Trump bits are overused and knows that people are tired of the political banter from comedians. End quote.
He didn't even have to say all that.
Nope.
And he didn't lie. I would have just really been like, who?
Literally.
That would have been my whole response. Somebody would say, Kathy Griffin said, who? Oh, have a good day.
I'm good, love. Enjoy.
Blessings to you and your family. Bye now. Be blessed. So
yeah, I don't have any real energy for that. She's just, I just keep referencing the fact that she is really fucking ugly.
Man, like you said, she looks like a horse. She looks like Sarah Jessica Parker and Tori Spelling had a baby. That's what she looked like.
Oh my God, she looked just like.
Wow.
No, I can't say.
You know what? Why? Before we go, and I hate to derail us, but Sarah Jessica Parker is really ugly, and she is the sole reason I never got into Sex and the City.
Because ain't nobody having sex with her.
It was just like, I don't want to see a ugly white woman crying about shoes and dick that she's not getting. It was just like, I got other shit to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my show, though. It came on this weekend. I watched it a couple episodes, and I was like, yeah, I can't. Not like I used to.
She looked like Voldemort.
Oh, my God. Candice.
Hello.
She out here aging like buttermilk. Like, for real. It's bad.
Yeah, she is. She looks curdled.
All the way.
I don't have that.
I'm
sorry.
I don't understand how they made it all the way through New York for like 7 seasons or so and never came across a single black person.
They did. Well, Blair Underwood was on there. Blair Underwood.
How a single black person was never like, yo, she mad ugly, B. Like, and somebody else was like, dead ass, son.
Hey, B, she got a long ass face, yo.
Oh my.
Her
God.
face is long as a Monday after a 3-day weekend. It's really long.
Her face is as long as a fucking last day of school, nigga.
Bruh.
It is really bad. She is really ugly.
Nigga, her face is long as the U.S. tax code. Just long for no damn reason. Man. But they go up for her. They go up for her. I don't get it. She was the darling, the media darling. I'm like, she's so beautiful. I'm like, bitch, where? Not in the face.
The only time I want to go up for her is during the Kentucky Derby.
I put money on her.
Lord Jesus, it's a fire.
Sarah Jessica Parker looked like a cautionary tale.
Bruh. She looked like the Picasso scream. That's what she looked like.
Lord Jesus.
Oh, my. Man. Real talk, though, she looked like a drawing from that old book, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Get out of here. I thought you were going to say she looked like the Babadook.
Oh. See, usually Shantae jumps in and she'll, like, stop me or say something nice, or, well, let me be honest. Shantae would have been like, fuck that nigga, too.
But wait a minute. She wasn't even the worst looking person on the show, though. That's the gag. The gag is Miranda with the red hair and the yellow teeth. Bro, I was rewatching it this weekend. I was like, there's no way she was getting smashed on a regular, bro.
And she
there's no way.
Enough to treat Steve like shit like she did. That was the thing that made me mad about the show.
Thank you.
Like, you only get one shot.
My husband said Miranda looked like the Grinch.
She do. Miranda over here treating Steve bad because he got one testicle. I mean, yes, that's true. But look at you. Be grateful.
Your face. She looks like his. She looked like his other testicle.
Man, she looked like a chicken gizzard.
Oh my goodness. I hated that show.
Man, I love to hate it, and I hated to love it.
I hated that show so much. I had a lot of issues with those folks on that show, but mostly was the fact that every guy who showed up on that show got treated like shit.
Hey, not Mr. Big, though.
Hey, did. Nigga, when I say I watched the show, my daughter's mom, the white one, she watched the shit out of that show. She watched the fucking shit out of that. I know that show. She treated Aiden like shit and was just chasing. Mr. Big was a player, though. But treated Mr. Big like he was just everything.
Hey, he was. Mr. Big was bankrolling her funds. Mr. Big had cheese. He was picking her up in fancy car service, taking her to fine restaurants. What could Aiden do? Make her a chair. That's about it.
All them women on there just remind me of Kim Zolciak from
Doctor Stable.
Lord Jesus. Help us. We can't get no help up in the church today.
No, and it's about to get worse. See, I have funny things to talk about, but yeah, so this rapper died yesterday.
Oh, I'm so glad we going here.
Xxten. How the fuck did you say this nigga's name?
This is hilarious. His name, it was Xxxtentacion. And for the longest time, I thought the nigga was trying to say extension.
Me too.
Lord.
I Googled it, and like mad young people was like, it's Xxxtentacion. I was like, man, fuck y'all.
Why not just one X? Why is it 3?
I don't know.
I need to know.
What I do know is that nigga died, and I just want to say right now that I had never heard of him before he passed away. But apparently this nigga is the patron saint of, like, potential.
Bruh.
Listen.
Like
the reach.
Right?
So much reach was happening yesterday.
Before we go here, let's just briefly outline things that he had done or quote unquote was accused of. Because I haven't read too much into it, but
I have.
Yeah.
Like I said, because I didn't know about the nigga, and my daughter Gogo was like, "Dad, he's one of my favorite rappers," and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me go ahead and see, what I can see about him, because who knows? Maybe she and I could talk about it on the show or whatever. Her dealing with the death of somebody. I dealt with the death of Pac and all that kind of stuff. Nah, fuck this nigga.
Man, he made Chris Brown look like Jesus Christ
and
on the
Chris
real.
Brown is a piece of shit too. I had to get that out there real quick.
This was a tweet I saw on Twitter, and somebody was like, "Are y'all gonna have the same energy for Chris Brown if something happens to him?"
Yarp.
And a person was retweeted on my timeline, and it said, "Hell yeah, I've been having my balloons and confetti in the garage for about 10 years now, waiting on that nigga to die."
Hey, I got the potato salad recipe ready to be fired up for the Funegro. I'm ready.
Aside, like, I read up on the situation with his ex-girlfriend, and to be honest, few things make my stomach drop, but reading some of the details of how he abused her, and raped her, and held her captive, she basically had to escape. He was raping her with barbecue utensils.
Right.
She was pregnant at the time. She is still trying to raise money for surgeries to keep from going blind. And on top of that, it was said that he was an outspoken homophobe. Not even just homophobic. He went out of his way to be homophobic, and he was and this is like the cherry on top. He was a large supporter and lover of Dylan Roof.
Bruh.
He liked to refer to himself as Little Dylan Roof.
Yep.
With heart emojis.
Heart emojis.
And when somebody told him that he was a piece of shit, and that he was a domestic abuser, which he obviously was, nigga dead now. But when he was called out on it in September 2017, he put out an Instagram video that said, "Everyone who called me a domestic abuser, I'm going to domestically abuse your little sister's pussy from the back."
Yeah.
This is their fave.
And
Jesus.
niggas is like, well, you know who else wouldn't have been shit if they had died at 20? Malcolm X.
Bruh.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw him get dragged for that too.
Malcolm X wasn't shit when he died at whatever age he died at. Malcolm X has a lot of shit with him from 20 until his death. So that's why I always get weirded out with this revisionist history that y'all do of these people.
But they only do it for men.
Yeah. Because just last week, the black men of Twitter engaged in a multiple day dragging of Eartha Kitt because she had consensual sex with 2 white men.
Oh, I'm glad I missed that. Yeah,
they called her all type of whores. They diminished her legacy in Hollywood. They diminished her legacy as a feminist, and they reduced her to a whore who had a train ran on her by 2 white men. And so this whole speaking ill of the dead thing that they're performing on Twitter about 3 strikes and you're out, I don't give a fuck about any of that.
Nah, no sympathy for X marks the spot. I'm sorry, can't do it.
So, initially, I was just going to read about it. I was just going to read up on it and wasn't going to say anything about it on Twitter or Facebook or anything like that because I don't know the nigga. I haven't listened to his music. I ain't got shit to say. I hadn't read anything either at that point in time. And so I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to read a couple things between me putting out these bills and everything, and then I'm just going to keep it pushing. And then I read about this nigga and got mad. And then I read all these other niggas who were like, yo, you can't believe everything that his victim allegedly was saying, and you got to give him a chance. His potential was so great. And then you read about Kanye and T.I. and Diddy and all these other niggas, J. Cole, who all these other niggas talking about he had so much potential. I didn't know him well, but he had so much potential. He was just dope. Like, these niggas didn't know what happened in this. Like they didn't know what he did to this lady.
They knew, they just didn't care.
Exactly.
And I asked the question, and I saw several women ask the question. In the history of well-known abusers, I just want one example of a reformed, well-known domestic abuser. Just one. I just want one example where the person was abusive, they reformed, they changed their ways, they haven't been abusive to a woman ever again, they are on a good path in life. I just want one example. Nobody could give me one. I'm still waiting.
There ain't one, man.
Because Chris Brown nearly lost everything. He went to jail. He did community service. He was ordered to do rehab and everything, anger management, and he still has women filing restraining orders against him in 2017, 2018. He was still an abuser.
Threw Krispy Kreme down a flight of stairs, if I recall correctly. I mean...
Correct. And used to punch her and all kind of shit. That girl is 100 pounds soaking wet. So, like I said, in my opinion, there are things that people reform from. We know recovering drug addicts and alcoholics, and we know people who go to jail for robbery and get out and reform drug dealers. I've never seen a reformed domestic abuser. So,
I've seen lots of them in their prime, but I ain't never seen one reform. Ever.
Never.
Nope.
Pimps just become pastors, but they don't change much.
Nope, they still abuse women.
Right. So after I read about this nigga and saw these folks caping for him, like literally going out of their way to cape for him, like they knew this nigga. That's the thing that gets me. Like niggas were talking about, I hope that when your family member dies, you treat them as brazenly as you treated X.
I just want to say on your podcast to all your listeners and any new listeners that you get and any haters that you have who might listen or whatever the case may be. I am the type of nigga that will not go to a family member's funeral if I don't like them. Mm-hmm. I am that nigga. You going to some? I'm not going to that shit.
and let somebody in my family be an abuser. Let him be an abuser. Let him be a domestic abuser. Let him be a sexual abuser. Let him be some sort of an abuser. And you want me to have their what? What? Nah. See, they about to be on the Summer Jam screen.
First of all, it's niggas who have lost people, friends, family, whatever the case, and they be walking around talking about, yeah, I know he dead, but that nigga owed me mad money.
Right.
Never so I again, I don't believe most times when people talk about speaking ill of the dead, typically they just don't want to recall the truth about that person. They have revised who this person was while they were living, and I truly believe that who you are while alive sets the groundwork for how people remember you once you die. Like, there's no getting around that. Like, people will discuss the good and the bad about you. So if that is not something you want, then maybe you should live your best life and try not to, and be a decent person and not do shit like beat and rape pregnant women and beat on gay men because they looked at you, or maybe not be a supporter of Dylan Roof, who went into a black church and murdered 9 people. And also maybe not have shitty views on racism, such as racial he said racial profiling doesn't exist. Black people just like playing the race card. That was also one of his stances. And he also said he wasn't black. He didn't classify as black as well. So I don't understand so many niggas going up for someone who didn't even identify as one of them while living. So,
but they is this one nigga. I typed this out on Facebook about 9 hours ago. I said, y'all are really hurting my soul right now with all of these "he was only 20, give him a pass" statements. In his 20 years of life, he was able to do horrible things to people and promised to do horrible things to more people. And him living to the age of 90 wouldn't have changed that. Just admit that you only get mad when you don't like someone and you cape for folks when you do, and let's move on to the unassailable truth. That dude was an abusive piece of work. Somebody popped up into the comments and said, but did he deserve to die?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And I hope he burns in hell.
James. Or, well, what the fuck is that nigga's name? Samuel L. Jackson. Whoa, James. Where the fuck did that come from? I said, did I say that he did in that initial comment? And he was like, you act as if people mourning his death or disrespecting his victim. Are you saying that a 20-year-old guy would have never changed? And I was like, you don't look. You can say all you want, but the bottom line is you can grow. You're allowed to grow and move forward, but no one has to forget the footprints you left behind. Right.
I mean, by all means, from everything that we saw, this person was escalating in their violence and escalating in their attacks against people. So there's the whole, they were turning it around, they changed all that narrative. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't believe it. They need more people. I'm just not here for it.
And this nigga said even footprints get washed away, though. And I was like, you know what?
Not if you leave them in concrete.
Okay, hello.
I was like, you know what? Had he not died, he still would have been a homophobic, abusive piece of work at the age of 90. I think I said that earlier. And nothing's going to change that. And you supporting him is hurting my brain just as much as the rest of these folks doing it. This nigga then went to a completely different post. He made his own status.
What?
Made a friend post, made it a friend-only post, and made his own status where he was like, folks out here acting like he couldn't have changed, and they out here cooning.
Oh, Lord. Cooning.
Cool. Listen, the part that really baffled me was people referring to him as a child.
Right.
Listen. At 20, the typical 20-year-old may not be completely ready to navigate life and all that it encompasses. But at 20, you are in no form or fashion a child. Mm-hmm. You are an adult. And you know the difference between right and wrong. I'm not even being funny. At 10, you know you shouldn't be beating on women. Mm-hmm. You know, like, certain things, it's just, it shouldn't take you 40 years of life to understand consent, or to keep your hands to yourself, or to not be homophobic, or to not champion mass murderers and things of that nature. He was not a child. He was a psycho. Because at 18 and 19, I was not raping, beating, sodomizing, and all this other shit, pregnant women, or even doing things like that to men, anybody I was dating. So you're not about to convince me this is teens gonna be teens ass behavior. At 18 and 19, I was sneaking alcohol. I was clubbing and shit like that, and smoking a little reefer and all that kind of shit. I was not doing the things he was doing at 18 and 19. So you're not going to convince me that's normal. And most other 18, 19-year-olds that we know collectively, they are not doing shit like that. So he wasn't a child. He was a sick motherfucker who had 15 pending felony charges. So kidnapping, rape, assault, tampering with evidence, tampering with witnesses. So like somebody posted some pictures of him saying that the girl was never pregnant, that she had no damage to her eye socket. And I was just sitting here like, how we've seen pictures of this girl's face.
Right.
We can find pictures of this woman post incident, and you are telling me a man who is currently who had been charged with tampering with evidence and witnesses, you believe some paperwork that he could have snatched from anywhere? I can Google paperwork for a negative pregnancy test right now. I can Google it. I can pull up pictures of an ultrasound. I can pull up a positive or negative pregnancy test right off Google Images. You're not going to convince me that it's hard to doctor up paperwork like that. So it's just, I don't know. Black men never cease to disappoint me with the things that they champion.
Right. It's
disgusting.
And we're getting so good at it. Like it's like an art form now. Like we are just like, like stand back. A black male is about to fuck this shit up even more. Bet. Watch. There it goes. Watch. And it wasn't just black males. It was white males and white women too. All of them just caping for this motherfucker. And black women were like, do y'all not see this shit? And black men were like, shut up, woman.
Shut up. A nigga died and he ain't deserved to die. You a monster for even being indifferent about it. And what was so crazy to me was I did not see very many gay or black women celebrating it or saying he deserved it. I saw a lot of indifference. It was kind of like, if he died, he died.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was just the attitude. That's the attitude I have about it. And I don't wish death on him. I'm not even saying he deserved to die. I just honestly don't care one way or the other. And you're not going to silence me about the shit he did while he was living because he's dead. Because if he cared that much about his legacy and death, he would have been a better person while alive. He didn't care, so why should I care?
He sure didn't. They sure did bring up that tweet that he had, what was it, almost a year to the day. It was like, well, if you're going to try and shoot me, make sure you kill me next time. Like, oh, well, they just did what you asked them to do, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Watch what you put in this atmosphere.
Exactly.
Man, like my grandma used to say, your ways is going to catch up to you. It's some people's ways just catch up quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, he caught his issue, and it's like, so now the part that made me laugh was like, now is y'all time to discuss black on black crime.
Right, where they at though?
Now y'all want to finger wag at people who don't care one way or another about this man dying. So it's just like, what's the truth really? What really is the truth about this?
Man, is it Uchi Wally or is it One Mike? Which one is it?
Yeah, my part that I liked the best, my favorite part of the story was when they were like, I hope y'all celebrate this much when George Zimmerman dies or Dylan Roof dies.
I was gonna do that anyways.
But didn't nobody say nothing about celebrating his death?
I didn't see nobody throw a parade.
I did not nair one person, but as soon as I put that status out there, I don't condone celebrating his death. What? Ain't nobody celebrating the death. We are simply
and same niggas that'll go.
Oh, no,
I was gonna say the same niggas that'll go ahead and show up at a repast to celebrate someone's death are judging people who are just like Candice said, pointing out the other parts of this person that aren't being talked about. Like, come on now, come on. I'm so sick of niggas.
And I said today, like, instead of wagging y'all fingers at people who are indifferent or may even have celebrated, that is their prerogative. Why don't you go mourn this man with the rest of his fans and people who loved him and do something charitable in his honor and just shut the fuck up? I mean, you've spent more time crying about people not giving a fuck than you have actually crying over the loss of his life.
Well,
don't care. I mean, there's some people in my family when they pass away won't care. They are abusers. I have nothing to do with them. When I find out they are at family functions, I don't go. I won't add them on Facebook. I don't care how they're doing. I don't give a fuck about any of that. When it's their time, it's gonna be their time. And my only hope is that someone spells their name wrong in the obituary. Don't care. So, hey.
Somebody said that I was caping for white people and gay people by saying this dude wasn't shit.
How? Wait. One of those things is not like the other.
White people have no part in this entire situation, but I'm caping for white people and gay people.
Does that mean you're caping for Latinos too and Asians? What? I had confusion.
I don't know. What he was saying was that I didn't get mad about James Brolin beating up Diane Lane when James Brolin was in Deadpool 2 or in Infinity War, at which point I was like, good job, nigger. Not even nigger, just good job, nigger. You dug deep for that shit. Like, I didn't even know about this motherfucker. So, you Googled the fuck out of that. Or you knew about it and you were just holding on to it, waiting for somebody to say something about somebody that you liked. I don't really know for sure, but I don't give a fuck about him either. And then he was like, well, you're caping for white people.
So he was just saying some nonsense because he couldn't think of nothing else to say.
Niggas was just throwing something and hoping it stick.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you. I mean, I basically was like, he died. Okay, he died. And that's what it was. And I think the girlfriend might have had the ex-girlfriend, should I say, might have had a miscarriage or something of that sort. So, maybe the blessing in all of this is that he didn't leave his DNA anywhere. We hope. Like, that's the only positive I have for you, is that hopefully he didn't leave any kids to grow up and be little shitbags.
And I'm flummoxed. I think that's the best way to put it. I'm flummoxed by the things people will say to try and excuse what he did. Well, there was a girl at school that really liked him, and so she kept hitting him. And so he asked permission, and his mom was like, well, hit her back. So he, in a direct quote,
nobody's mom says that. Come on now. Especially a black mother? No. Mm-hmm. Stop it.
Mm-hmm. Hit her back, she said. So he hit her so hard that he slapped fire out of her. Yeah. These are the people in my neighborhood, Folks are still saying that she's lying.
Of course she's lying. The woman is always lying, right? It's never the black man's fault. It's always the woman's. The woman's trying to set him up for something.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. It's
woman trying to keep the black man down.
Well, aren't you?
I mean, how is everything our fault though? Like literally everything.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we weren't trying to keep him down. We didn't kill him. Mm-hmm. Instead of crying about women not caring or celebrating or being indifferent, maybe turn the nod to the black person that killed him and stole his Louis Vuitton purse.
Not purse, Jesus.
It was a purse. It was a speedy bag.
It was purseable.
A speedy bag.
It was a speedy. But it's just like, hey. At least let's hope he had enough money for some good funeral arrangements.
I was legit thinking about that yesterday. Like, how much money could
because we know rappers don't like getting life insurance.
Not at all. Better hope they didn't have a 360 deal.
Cause Lord, the label's gonna exhume the body to get their money.
Can you make a greatest hits album when you only got 2 albums?
Man, I heard a song of his on the. I don't know. I know they played a song of his on the radio yesterday. I was like, what? I never heard it before. Never. Now all of a sudden we all care.
I was just kind of, and somebody was like, well, he spoke to the kids of his generation. That should scare you.
Exactly.
That should mortify you that kids of this generation related to him and his behavior and how he conducted himself. That should mortify you. Now I won't say as a parent, but you got some soul searching to do if that was who your child was idolizing. So listening to the music, okay, I get it, but people were legit on, like, K. Michelle was on Twitter like, my son idolized him and you assholes killed him.
Girl, we ain't never even seen your son. Get out of here.
Hey, Summer, listen, hey.
Her or Carly Red's daughter. Like, y'all go be parents. That's why they idolize them, because y'all ain't be out here being parents. Y'all too. Let me be nice.
That sounds like logic. I don't know how that works in this situation. Logic has no place in this world that we're talking about right here.
I mean, I think the thing that upset me most was seeing the light-skinned Nigerian Jadena cape for him. I was like, really, Jadena? Really? With your fine ass? Really? I'm so disappointed.
Well, just seeing all those celebs, Sky Jackson, K. Michelle, Jadena, J. Cole.
J. Cole, for real.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't surprised about Kanye West because that big titty bitch will do anything to get some attention.
Anything. Kris Jenner was like, this is your moment. This is your moment.
I'm just saying, J. Cole
First of all,
Uncle Phil was still here.
I just want to say that when Kanye posted those pictures from his for the photo shoot from his latest fashion line or whatever, and he was in one of those pictures. When I tell you Kanye West got racist white woman calves, like they just big and fat and musty looking, look like ham shanks, I was just like, I'm so not shocked.
He got neck bones for ankles.
He definitely does. He looks like he's built like an oxtail right now.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. We will be right back to this. All of this. This is single.
This is Ray, aka Black Show Bob, and you're listening to Single Simulcast.
Hey everybody, this is Gerald Jones from the Buy Black Podcast, and you're listening to Single Simulcast. I've been drinking a whole bottle of wine through this episode. This is the first podcast I've been on where I've been allowed to drink, and I'm loving it. Y'all keep listening.
Hey everyone, this is Shantae, co-host of Single Simulcast, and I just want to say, fuck John McEnroe as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. Thanks for listening.
I'm a product my own decisions.
You're right, you're a product of your own decisions. This is Single Simulcast.
Hey, this is Sherazard, aka Shami, aka Random Ass from the Third Side, also known as Some Call Me Sunshine. As always, this is Single Simulcast.
That was simply sensational.
Single simulcast shall surely surface speedily. Bitches.
I hate a lazy woman now with bras now. I like ladies, if you're the type of lazy bitch that just only do 1 or 2 hooks and you got a 3-hook bra or you got a 2-hook bra and you only do 1 hook, you's a lazy ass. Hook every single goddamn one.
Hook them. You know what's even lazier than that. This is probably like when you deep down in your relationship when you want a titty time and she don't want a titty time and she won't even take the bra all the way off. She just pulls the titty over the top. She's like, here. And you like, really? You just gonna pull a single titty out and the titty don't look like it want to be here at all. The titty come out the bra like, you again.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Bad Advice Show with me and my partner, Baker Bone. You listen to us on the Cold Slither podcast. Make sure you support our sponsors to keep this show free. And we'll be back here today to tell you stuff that you shouldn't do, but you're going to do anyway because my voice is so soothing.
Single Simulcast wants your reviews. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Google Music, or wherever you listen to us. Tag Single Simulcast with the screenshot of your review on Facebook or use the hashtag SSCast on Twitter. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Hello, this is Stephanie from the Mocha Minutes podcast. If you can hear my voice, that means you're tuning in to 2 of my faves, Rashanii and Shantae Fabulous of the Single Simulcast. Congrats! You made a really good choice today. You want to make another good choice? Check me out on the Mocha Minutes podcast. You won't be disappointed. If you're tuning in to the Single Simulcast, you're going to love the Mocha Minutes podcast too. You can find the Mocha Minutes podcast wherever you find your podcasts. We'd love to have you tune in. Okay. Bye.
Hi, this is your man Jeremy from the Crown and Collars podcast, and you are listening to Single Simulcast with my man Rashanii and Shantae Fabulous, your favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster. And I'm your favorite podcaster. So that should be your favorite podcaster, because I'm your fave, and your fave's fave. Check them out on Single Simulcast. And check out Crown and Collars, found wherever you can find great podcasts and the CSPN network.
Who Raised You podcast is a kitchen table conversation between Karen, Jolyon Yang, and
Treasure Shields Redmond.
As we explore how culture, family, and intersecting identities pave our way toward liberation, we want to know, who raised you? We're curious and sometimes a bit irritated. Sit down, we have lots to talk about.
Shit, I'm tired. It'll always be this way. It is when you yawn. That's how Anita Baker did that. You just yawn your way through shit.
Fucking told you, son. I love Anita Baker, but you were correct, sir.
From beginning to end, 365 days of the year, I want the sun.
You know what? I'm rock for this one.
All I wanna do is take a nap with you.
That's and think.
Caught up in
See? Sounds just like
I never noticed it till just now.
I mean, at least she sounded like she was really going to sleep, other than putting you to fucking sleep like Nora Jones. Son, if you can't sleep, two albums. That Nora Jones first album put you right the fuck out.
That's my cousin.
And
it's so
It's like boring, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that's terrible.
I'm gonna tell you the best album to go to sleep on is Boyz II Men Evolution, dog. And yo, for real, if I can't sleep, if I have like straight insomnia, and there is no way I think I'm going to sleep right now, put on that album, I am gone. I don't know what it is about that album. I am out of here, dog. Okay.
This way. So sweet. So sweet.
Oh shit!
Oh,
but
man.
I can't talk too much shit about Anita Baker. My mom, when she was alive, she loved Anita Baker and Patti LaBelle, son.
Anita's the shit.
Yeah, like I'm sure dissing her, but I still listen to that song.
Oh yeah, I'll listen to it all the day long. But it also helps that she's the only woman from that era who's still relatively attractive.
True.
Come on, son. Patti LaBelle, dog. She got ass, son.
That's because she eating all that mama's fried chicken. All she eat is soul food. She gonna be a diabetes victim.
I need to find that shit. Did anybody? Am I the only person on earth that remembers that award show where Patti LaBelle was singing and they gave her the Lifetime Achievement Award or some shit like that? And she was singing a song, and she just took the mic away and sung out loud to the fucking crowd. And it was
I don't remember that at all.
It was the most amazing shit I've ever seen in my life, and I have never seen that shit again.
Nope.
She was probably yawning one day in the studio, so I was like, hold on. Yeah, just like that. Just keep doing that. That's perfect.
Oh, that was great. How'd you hit that note? I'm not sure. No, that wasn't it. Maybe if I hold my nose. No, that's not it either. Will you tell him to stop yawning when he yawns? That's it.
Eureka!
I just found it.
Eureka! That's it.
The dream team is here.
Are you interested in supporting this Black podcast? Awesome! Become a Patreon member at www.patreon.com/singlesimulcast. And for $5, you'll be able to chat with the hosts during our monthly Q&A Awesome session. You can also support the show via our Teespring store at teespring.com/stores/single-simulcast and get a shirt or a mug. You also have the option to put a little something in our cup at paypal.me/single-simulcast.
Poor Kanye. I can't even say poor Kanye anymore. Like, that really comes out of my mouth, but when I'm thinking about it, it's like, really just fuck Kanye. I can't even say poor Kanye anymore. I don't know him.
Yeah, I
think for me, I just feel like this is who he's always been.
Yeah.
We just didn't know.
I had this conversation, and I said that he was too broke to be that person back then.
Yeah, exactly.
He needed to pander to people in his tax bracket and his for that come up, but he is completely who he's always wanted to be, and so it's just like, okay, brother, do you, but I don't give a fuck about Kanye West. Like,
Kanye Leon's tally.
He's a fat troll.
I just feel like there's nothing relevant about him anymore, so he's just trying to make things relevant. Like, he's literally just selling out for the sake of being heard. And it doesn't...
yeah.
Oh, no, go for it.
Right. No, I was going to say, I did not listen to his album. I'm adamant about that. But sadly, I am, a fan of, Pusha T and Tiana Taylor. And Pusha T's album, it spoke for itself. He did not need to do all of that trolling.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea about his album because I don't care. But it's just like, even the Nas album, first of all, fuck Nas. And that Nas album sounded like a Kanye West album featuring Nas. And so it was just like the production was so good. So it's just like, what are you doing all this trolling for? You still have it musically, but I just think he has lost himself. And I'm not blaming the Kardashians. I'm not blaming Kim. I'm just saying he appears to have lost himself in the shuffle of being married to a Kardashian. Like when he first got with Kim, I felt like he lost so much of his identity, because before he was Kanye West and people associated other people with him. She wasn't just Amber Rose. She was like, oh, that's Kanye ex-girlfriend Amber Rose.
Right.
He got with Kim and it went like, oh, that's Kim Kardashian husband, Kanye. That's Kanye. So I feel like he's doing a lot to try to be who he thinks he should be outside of that marriage. And it's really weird because it's just like, you a Kardashian and you are moving like one. And you are built like Chloe. So shit happens.
Don't speak about Chloe and Thal like that, okay?
Chloe Simpson.
Don't come for Chloe and Thal Simpson, okay?
So, I don't even know where to go after this. So we're just gonna go straight to space.
Yes.
Trump has announced plans for the Pentagon to create the Space Force.
What?
Spaceships on Bankhead. It's a real thing, y'all.
Trump announced on Monday that he is directing the Pentagon to create a new Space Force as an independent military service branch aimed at ensuring American supremacy in space. Though he may have limited power to develop a new military command. Do I need to read more?
No.
No.
How, okay.
So is he going to pick Captain Luke Picard, or is he going to pick Captain Kirk to head up this Space Force? That's
well, we
what
know
I
he's
need to
not
know.
picking a black man or a woman, so those are all out. So, I'm thinking that it's going to be Picard, and then he's going to have Riker as a second in command, just like old school times.
So are the spaceships going to be ran by dilithium crystals? I mean, I need to know. Space Force. Like, he's really serious about this.
I'm trying to figure out how we still can't help Puerto Rico, and this nigga's like, we going to space, y'all.
Right, to establish America's supremacy in outer space. Like, my nigga, these aliens don't give a fuck about America or Earth.
This nigga is doing anything to avoid them indictment charges that's coming up the pipe one of these days.
Right? This nigga is just like the kid who has the paper, like, that they have that's due the next day. And they're like, you know what? Before I start writing this paper, I need to get in a writing mood. So they turn on some music. And then they're like, that's my song. And so they dance for like 30 minutes. And they're like, all right, focus. I'm hungry. Huh.
He needs a new Coke dealer. That's what he needs. Because this last batch that he had is out of control. Out of control.
I'm going to make myself a top ramen. Makes himself a top ramen. I think I'm going to put egg in it like my mom used to. Man, I don't got any eggs. Let me go to the store and get some eggs. Goes to get some eggs, comes back, eats. I guess I should start on my paper now. I wonder what Charles is doing.
Right.
Charles is on Xbox. Nigga, I got next. Sit down and play the video game for like 4 hours. Oh, I got a paper to do. How many pages is it? 20. How many have you done so far? None. What are you going to write it about? Space Force.
Yeah. He is the emperor with no clothes.
I could deal with him just being the racist that he is, right? And the misogynist and the homophobe and all that. But he's just so stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is the part that really takes the cake for me, because we are black. We have been around racists. We have been run pretty much by a predominantly racist government for ever now. So it's not even that. He is so fucking stupid. Like, he is just so, and it just make you be looking like, you is just so dumb.
Man.
So dumbass. She was just fucking, like, it's like a disgusting feeling to know that we are surrounded by white people so stupid that they put this stupid person in office. Like, and it also begs the question that, look how long he surrounded himself by smart people, because you cannot convince me he is the savvy businessman that he has been lauded to be all his life. He's too stupid. He is literally surrounding himself around the best of the best business-wise and made money off their backs.
Mm-hmm.
He's a fucking idiot. And he's ugly. Man. White people just be ugly.
He got chins on chins on chins.
Man, his hair is uneven. He looks dusty. And I never thought I would say the words, but I'm going to say them anyway. I miss Steve Bannon, because this would not have happened if Steve Bannon was around.
I just liked it better when he was just watching TV all day long.
And eating Burger King and KFC. First of all, your president eats KFC. He prefers KFC.
To Popeyes.
Let's start there.
Nigga, all the options you got and you want KFC, you the fuck up right there.
Oh my God.
He eats Big Macs.
And Whoppers.
And Whoppers. You know what? I don't know. He just looks like the foreskin from a circumcision.
Oh, Candice.
He just looks so nasty. Like, I know the white, like, remember when the reports came out about how the White House is like critter infested now? Like roaches and rats and ants and all kind of shit. And I'm just like, this would happen when you just never take the trash out to the dump. Instead, you house it and let it run a country. In the history of the White House, we have never heard reports of roaches, rats, and no other kind of shit. All of a sudden, they there with him.
And you can't blame black people because he didn't hire any.
No, we don't know them niggas that he did hire because they're not black. But this is what happens when you say Beetlejuice 3 times on the election night. This is what happens.
I just love the way the black folks are still, like, on the low getting blamed for him. Like, if we had voted harder, he wouldn't have gotten elected. Like,
if we would have came to the polls. We came to the polls. We didn't vote for him.
You know how many white people are in this United States of America? Like, they may not be as much as they used to be, but there's still a lot of them. And, they lie a lot. Like, right in your face. They'll be like, who are you voting for? Oh, I'm voting for, Hillary. Yeah, me too. Checks Trump.
But her emails.
Mm-hmm. Space Force.
Bruh.
I hope he goes up there and gets eaten by fucking Jabba the Hutt. I swear to God, I hope he goes out there. He ain't going. He ain't gonna go. He gonna be the last person leaving. Nigga, sending people into space for what? What you gonna do when you get there? How much money is this gonna cost us? Did you really think this out? Who is running the country? Because it ain't you.
That's what irritates me the most out of this is like you cut the funding for EPA, you cut the funding that was given for Obama's My Brother's Keeper, you cut the funding for all these programs because you're calling it waste, and you turn around and you're trying to develop a space force to protect, not even to protect us from aliens, to establish our supremacy. Like, how does this? Are we supposed to put a flag on Uranus? Like, how is this supposed to happen? I don't understand. Who told him this was a good idea? This is what I need to know. Who is the scientist that said this is what needs to happen?
White people.
Stephen Hawking is rolling over in his, well, maybe not rolling over, but
it would, yeah.
You know what, guys? Speaking of, I have to really get this off my chest.
Uh-oh.
So yesterday, when all of the whatever the nigga name was, mess was going on Twitter, somebody said that when they remember seeing a tweet that said when Stephen Hawking died, he made the Windows power down noise.
I saw that tweet. Jesus. See, I thought when he died, he made that AOL dial-up noise. That.
Listen. The ability of black people to find humor in anything
is undefeated.
We are undefeated in that range right there.
Bruh. The same people that laughed at Eddie Long dying are the ones crying right now.
Is he dead for real?
Over the tentacles. Girl, he been dead.
Holy shit. After you know how they like to kill people on the internet?
Yes.
After that news came out about those things that he did with those the young boys in the church, I kind of just tuned him out. Well, that wig lived a good life,
man.
In them Under Armour compression shirts.
I remember when that wig
was nasty. That was nasty.
How you wearing shorts in the pulpit? That's how you know your pastor ain't shit.
With your knees out.
Looking like Mr. Brown. Mr. Brown with that Malaysian wavy. 1B on his head.
He was a visionary because now all these niggas is trying to get Brazilian wavy man weaves.
Man. I want a Hawaiian silky.
Man. They want to be Odell Beckham so bad.
Somebody said Joel Osteen is getting ready for hurricane season by locking the church doors.
I miss
Joel ain't never gonna live that down.
Ever.
Never. And he shouldn't.
So a couple of episodes ago, maybe like 9, 10, we were talking about a family who decided to get out their car during a safari. To go look at the cheetahs, to go see them closer, and barely escape with their life when cheetahs did what cheetahs do. Apparently, all white people didn't get that memo because a tourist in South Africa stuck his arm out of a Jeep to stroke a wild lion's head. The problem is that the lion didn't like it. The pride of lion seemed to be using the Jeep's shadow to avoid the baking sun when the man decided to disturb the leader's slumber. As the lion turned around, the rest of the party pled for him to shut the window, but then he got jammed.
Final Destination. When animals attack edition.
The footage was posted on the YouTube page, so that means he didn't die, even though he should have. But, yeah, fucking white people. Oh, that was in May, where another person got mauled by a lion because they wanted to take a selfie with it. So that's 3 times the white folks have done something dumb with animals in wildlife areas.
Natural selection.
Man, lions gonna lion, man.
Speaking of natural selection, a husband has declared his marriage is over after his wife salted the popcorn. I'm sorry. A husband has declared his marriage over after his wife salted their popcorn at the movie theater against his wishes. Cops were called to mediate the snack dispute at the Marcus Majestic Cinema in Brookfield, Wisconsin at about 9:31, according to a police report. The wife explained that prior to the movie, she was in line to get popcorn when her husband asked her to not salt it before he walked away. But after getting the popcorn, she decided that since she had paid for it, she would go ahead and salt it despite his protests. When the husband discovered that the wife had salted the popcorn, he accused her of being unfaithful and declared that their marriage was over, according to police.
Oh.
The husband then refused to watch the movie and waited outside the theater while the wife enjoyed the film and the popcorn. The wife found him after the movie, but would not let him drive, claiming that he drives too fast when he was angry. The husband refused to get in the car unless he could drive, but the wife held the keys. Fearing that he'd be stranded at the theater with no way home, the wife called police after he said he wouldn't ride home with her. Police arrived and advised the wife that she couldn't force him to ride with her as he was an adult and could refuse to get in the car if he didn't want to. This is not The Onion, people. This is real white folks doing white folks shit.
Child, if my nigga don't want to come home because I salted the popcorn, that means he's already cheating. I'm just going to go home and change the locks and have all his shit on the curb. Bye, nigga. Peace.
I was just about to say, it sounded like he just picked a pointless argument because he wanted to go to his side bitch house.
For real.
What you mean, how my day going? Bitch, nobody asked you. Fuck that. I don't have to deal with this, bitch. Fuck you. Like, it's really weird. Just go to that whole house and leave me alone, okay? I got a whole tub of popcorn. I'm not finna argue with you.
Right. Shoot, especially the way I want it, with the butter on it. Let me watch The Incredibles. Go ahead and go to Sally's house. I'm good.
No. Now that you want me to go, I'm not going. No.
Go ahead. Lock's gonna be changed when you get home.
Well, I'm just gonna... This motherfucker thought that it was a good idea. He was gonna prove himself to her by not watching the movie that he had paid for. I'm so miffed right now.
Right. He already bought the ticket.
You put salt on the popcorn. You know I can't stand too much seasoning. I crack me up. Fuck this. I'm leaving. You can watch Adrift by yourself.
I feel like, all right then, because you talk too loud through the movie anyway.
Be shrieking and shit. The wife told police that her husband never hurt her, and she didn't fear him harming her, only that he drove too fast when angry. She said she would ask him one more time whether he would get in the car and come home with her, and otherwise leave without him. It's unclear how long the couple had been married or what movie they planned to see that night.
Yeah. This is ridiculous. Popcorn.
This is literally the whitest story I've heard in a long time. And I thought that Kathy Griffin story was it, but nope.
I bet he don't even have high blood pressure over here tripping over popcorn. But boy,
he can't stand seasoning at all.
That's when you're supposed to get. That's when you're supposed to get the box, and you just pour the top out into the box, and you just give him the bottom of it without the salt on it. Here, knock yourself out.
Go fuck yourself and knock yourself out.
Man, if it's that serious, here's $5. Go get you another popcorn, Cecil.
A man was stabbed after squirting hot sauce at another customer at a New Hampshire restaurant.
Fair.
Oh, hot sauce? What kind was it? Was it Tapatio or was it Tabasco?
This was in New Hampshire. It was clearly Tabasco.
No, that was Frank's Red Hot. It wasn't no Texas Pete. We know that for sure.
Nicholas,
wait a minute.
Yes,
you said hot sauce and New Hampshire.
That's what I'm saying. Tabasco.
So it was probably just barbecue sauce. It wasn't even hot.
I can't handle these buffalo wings. Sir, you asked for teriyaki. Oh. Well, try this sauce. It's really, really spicy. Can you give me some water, please? And please, don't put lemon in it because I can't handle that spice.
Man.
Abraham reportedly squirted hot sauce at Fishball, sparking a fight inside a Gillies restaurant just after midnight on May 29th. At that point, the fight began inside, and the fight went on for a short period of time until the cashier explained to him that, hey, y'all got to leave the building. The police are on the way. Because, that's what you do when white people fight. Hey, y'all just got to get out. The police are on the way. Go home. Outside the restaurant, Fishball stabbed Abraham in the abdomen before concealing the knife.
Ooh. The abdomen.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy.
Abraham's wound required emergency surgery, and Fishball was treated for a head injury. He turned himself into the police on Wednesday, followed by Abraham on Thursday. He's been charged with several misdemeanors for simple assault and criminal threatening. I'm just saying, there are certain things that you don't do ever. Spitting on people. Saying nigger when you're white. Or anything other than black. Calling a woman out of her name. Putting hot sauce on somebody. That shit burns. I don't know if y'all know this, but getting hot sauce in your eye when you least expect it can be a very harrowing experience. And so, this dude had it coming.
How mad do you have to be to put hot sauce in somebody's eye?
You put salt on the popcorn and see what happens. There was a man who was stuck in traffic in Thailand? Oh no, Indonesia. And realized that the best thing for him to do was to, entertain himself. So, while he was driving, while he was sitting in traffic, he hacked into the nearest electronic billboard and streamed hardcore Japanese porn for frustrated commuters to communally watch in horror.
That's what we call doing the Lord's work.
I'm just saying. Feeling bored on his afternoon commute in the Indonesian capital, the man spotted the billboard's login details displayed on the Videotron. So he broadcasted 10 minutes of the porn film Watch Tokyo Hot until the power was shut off.
Watch Tokyo Hot.
Mm-hmm.
Let me Google that real quick and see what kind of situation that is.
Just make sure you go private.
Does it say what it is?
No, just porn. Just a porn flick.
What kind? Like, is it like DP? I need to know what's happening.
You're really gonna make me look, aren't you? Okay, fine, I'm gonna look.
That they were horrified.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna look. Hold on, real quick. Let me go incognito. There we go.
Candice, what's your bet? What kind do you think this is?
If it's some type, I feel like it's some type of gaping hole porn.
Watch Tokyo Hot free porn videos on YouPorn. Alright, so I'm gonna click on it. Not because I want to, but because I have to. It just says the categories are Asian, Japan. Won't even say what it's about. And they took it down due to a copyright claim. So now I gotta look at another porn site.
Hey, man.
Hey, I'm doing the Lord's
work here. Oh. Well, I just Googled the phrase "Watch Tokyo Hot," and I'm just gonna read like some of the ones that come up. The first one that comes up says "Global Meat Urinal."
Oh.
I'm not about to click on that. The next one is "Beautiful Daughter Nasty Cream Pie." I'm not gonna click on that. Then the next one is "Beautiful Secretary Secret 3 Holes."
Secret 3 holes. What's the secret hole? Must be in the back of the neck.
It's the armpit.
Right? Like
the armpit is one.
Like
the back of the knee. That's the second one.
I don't know what the third one is. Secret third hole.
I'm not clicking on it to find out.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. I'm already scared of the viruses I'm gonna get just from going to YouPorn. Period.
I already got the Asian people calling me, leaving messages in whatever language. I don't need them sending me random emails or spam. Y'all get them calls?
I get calls, but my phone is now savvy enough to where it simply says telemarketer or suspected spam.
I
don't answer.
But it's usually like Indian people talking about I owe the IRS $10,000 and they got a warrant out for my arrest. Like, child.
Cool.
Oh, okay.
What happened to the days of the Nigerian scams, man? Like, I miss those days.
Yeah, they getting real lazy.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you won $10,000, but you need to send your email address and your address to this address. Nigga, I don't play the lotto on the single simulcast email address. Like, what? Just lazy.
I don't do nothing. So it's like, and I'm just, cause like the one called and so he called me and so I kept calling him back, harassing him till he blocked my number. And you want to know how he blocked my number? Cause then I called the number back from my husband's phone and he picked up like, hello, this is the IRS. And I was like,
oh my
hey,
God.
fuck you. What you blocked my number for? Oh, now you don't want no smoke. And he was like, shut up, and hung up. You gonna have to work for that $10K that you ain't finna steal from somebody else's bank account, not mine.
Man.
Now, before I read this next one, I gotta be completely honest. Way back. Before, well, probably like 8 months ago or so, maybe 9. I liked LeVar Ball. I thought he was a basketball dad. I thought he was a good supporter of his son. Like, as far as I believed, it was just like, yo, I wish my dad was that supportive of my goals and my dreams and thought that I was the best in the world and thought I could beat anybody in a fight. My dad was nothing close to that. And so I supported him because, you know, I wanted a dad like that. And then that nigga kept talking. And then he stopped talking about his son and he just started talking. And that's when he became like, fuck this nigga. Like, when he left, when he pulled his kids out of school and went overseas and then burnt bridges over there as quickly as he burnt bridges over here, it just got worse and worse. And then this happened. LeVar Ball's wife, Tina, suffered a major stroke in February 2017. Since then, LeVar and the rest of his family have been fairly quiet on her health and recovery process, which is fair considering the circumstances. However, in a story from the Washington Post on Thursday, LeVar opened up about his wife's recovery and their life since the health scare. Tina has regained the ability to walk, though she suffers from aphasia, which limits her verbal communication. Perhaps the thing that stands out the most from the article, though, is this. LeVar said that Tina had her stroke on purpose so that she, quote, can be quiet for a minute, end quote. In his suite in the afternoon during an interview he insists is recorded, LeVar sidesteps questions that would humanize him and offsets the occasional tender moment about his wife. Quote, as long as she can smile, give a kiss and a hug, he says, I'm good. End quote. With striking displays of cruelty. Quote, that's probably why she had the stroke, so she could be quiet for a minute. End quote.
I have nothing. I'm legit speechless.
You have got to be a terrible motherfucker when you almost got me ready to go to bat for a white woman.
For real. I think that's why I'm so quiet, because I'm like, ooh, she probably still voted for Trump, but she don't deserve that.
Wow.
Wait, there's more.
I wonder if she stroked out because she was calling him a nigga in her head for a long time.
Bruh.
You fucking nigger, ah! Shit.
Yeah.
After leaving the hospital and returning home after her stroke, LeVar also said that it was his idea to prohibit her from using a wheelchair in the house. Though he didn't do this as a challenge to her to recover faster, but rather that she would be, quote, tearing up our house by using it inside. He would often berate her in public, too, once pointing out that she's, quote, moving like an old-ass lady.
I mean, was he lying, though?
No.
Holy shit, he said that. I'm not finna put no wheelchair ramps in this motherfucker, bitch. You gonna have to slide up here like a slug.
Man.
Walk it out.
This is how you know that he's a real nigga.
He broke his ankles and he was like, dragging his body, trying to escape.
Jesus.
Well, listen, I recall reading up on Twitter about when he was really at the top of his, I don't know what the fuck we call it, but I remember reading up on his wife and reports about how during basketball season the kids couldn't go see her, like except maybe on the weekends if they didn't have practice. But if he booked them for something or they had basketball practice or something, they couldn't go see her while she was in the rehab or whatever. And I remember people being furious that I brought it up, and I was just like, he's a dick, period. Like, I don't... And then there's an interview that has long vanished off the internet where I just am not Googling right, but he pretty much said that, one of the reasons he married his wife is because his kids would have his athleticism and her hair. And boy, was he wrong. Because all three... Never mind. Yeah.
Okay, I have this confession. LeVar Ball makes some ugly ass kids. Normally, I hate to sound like this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it anyway.
Those ugly mulattoes.
Thank you. They are tragic. So tragic. Facially challenged in each and every way. Like, I expected better. I expected better.
Listen, so I have said repeatedly that Lonzo looks like if Drake had a bitch Stewie.
Oh my God.
Like, he just looks like he's missing a chromosome or something. Those boys are very ugly. Like, ugly.
Lonzo looks like a piece of cheese pizza from Costco. That's what he looked like.
He is greasy. So when there's like, have his hair, I think the youngest one has a curlier grade of hair, but I was just like, boy, you really thought you was about to get you some model type mixed breed children, and they all look like they're retarded.
Every last one.
He said that he did not want no wheelchair tearing up their house. Holy shit.
That's how you know he is a real nigga, because only real niggas say things like that. Like, you know how much this shit costs? You ain't about to fuck up these floors, bitch. You better crawl.
I knew he really didn't care for his wife or her whiteness and her white family when at the draft, only the black family was there.
Damn.
There was no pictures of his mom's side of the family at the NBA draft.
Hey, she ain't have the genes of choice, man. She ain't a ball.
That was real, though.
She married into the Ball family. She ain't a ball.
Lord.
Woo, man. That's their king, though. That's their king.
I'm just listening. I'm just enjoying this.
I said I was going to be nice today. I said I was not going to let Candice drag me to the dark side. And you know what? Here we are. What's the opposite of the sunken place?
The elevated place.
Ascension. The ex-wife of a billionaire investor is accusing him of resorting to some very juvenile tactics after being forced to hand her the keys to their $20 million marital home following their divorce. Sue Gross has described the state of their Laguna Beach home she previously shared with her ex-husband Bill Gross when she moved in after the couple's divorce settlement that had been finalized by a judge. Gross claims that her ex sprayed noxious scents around the home and even crammed dead fish into its air vents, making her life an unmitigated nightmare for the next few months. She said that her ex, who formerly worked at Pimco and is now at Janus, is, quote, a cruel, vengeful, and vindictive man with practically limitless financial resources. And he must be cheap, too, because, he's putting dead fish up there. He could do a lot worse than that. She should just be happy that, he's on a budget right now. When I was finally able to obtain access to this house, I was disgusted to see the bill had left it in a state of utter chaos and disrepair, read the declaration. I found empty spray bottles of puke smell and fart smell in the garbage. I have some of the fart smell. I know how that smells. It's bad. Don't even trip. I already know. And if you use a couple bottles of it, yeah, that's all gravity. The house plant smelled foul and had to be replaced. The carpets were stained and there was water damage throughout the house. It continued. A one-of-a-kind art installation piece had been dismantled and removed. The remote controls for the televisions, drapes, and other technology were all missing. That's petty as shit.
That's my type of carrying on.
How you gonna love me with that? How you like me now? I'm gonna take all these remotes and move.
I would have left the remotes, just took the backs and the batteries out.
So she would have had to tape them like a hood bitch.
I was about to say, that only irritate black people. White folks don't give a fuck.
Have you ever been to a white person's house and seen them with a remote without a back on it? I don't think so.
No, but you know what I'm about to start doing? Making sure it happens.
Listen, $20 million house.
You can buy some new TVs.
You can get some new carpet. You can have them blow the dead fish guts out the vents. I mean, some shit I'm just not about to cry about. Because with that house, I'm sure came some alimony. I definitely would be petty back and throw a garden party with new lovers or something and post them all over social media. And find old articles of clothing that belonged to him and let my new lovers use them as nut rags or something. Like, I probably wouldn't be crying about the little petty shit he did. Because like you said, he definitely had the resources to do worse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he really just wanted her back. That's all. He just like, hey, she's gonna call me. He just
want his house back.
She gonna be like, hey, can you come? I smell something that smells bad. Can you come help me? And then I'm gonna say, yeah, you gotta leave out for a while. And then, yeah, just take the house back. Your idea is much better than mine.
Yeah, you take this motherfucker.
Man, I would have had the Laguna Beach orgy up in that piece. How about that?
The declaration then claims that there were also some things left behind after Bill left the home. Quote, there were balls of human hairs in the drawers. I haven't found dead fish and dirt stuffed into the air vents. Hairballs. I have developed a persistent rash because of this.
Okay, why didn't you have the fucking house clean? Like, are you sleeping on the hairballs or something?
Well, she's tired.
White people are retarded.
She's sleepy.
Listen.
I refuse to live in such conditions in this $20 million house. How dare he treat me like this? I don't understand.
I just wanted to be happy.
Yeah. Like Candice said, move out. It ain't that serious. It ain't.
But, at all.
I don't think anybody understands what I'm going through right now because it smells like fish and I can see where the smell is coming from and I can't reach it.
Listen, if the man had enough money to buy one house worth $20 million, I'm sure he had several more. I'm sure they had several more she could have moved into, probably in the same neighborhood. Bitch, if you don't take your ass out of there and go live somewhere else and send him the bill.
Golly. I just saw this, and this brings us right back full circle. We never look at the 20-year-old sex worker or dancer when she's been killed and say, she could have been the next Maya Angelou.
Bruh. First of all, Maya Angelou is a scammer. Let's just start there.
And still, I rise.
And Maya Angelou was a sex worker. Bruh.
And still they rose.
She rose.
They rose.
But for real, like how I need to know how much money Maya Angelou was charging, because looking at them old pictures, she was not the baddest of bitches. What was her rate?
Sarah Jessica Parker.
A sad bitch with a deep voice.
Do you want to come back to my place?
Hey, can you imagine her answering poetically the prices for a blowjob?
Many wonder where my power lies. Jesus.
In your wallet.
Okay.
You can't pay me any more than this, and still I rise. Get out of my way. I'm getting off of this bed.
Why must we behave like this?
Only when we're together.
It's the God in me. That's what I like to say.
It's the God in me.
Hey.
It's the God in me. Let me see. While I'm talking about God real quick. Look, niggas. Y'all got to choose a side here. Either you fully believe that you shouldn't be eating shrimp, or you believe that them gay people should have been able to get a cake. There ain't no really,
What?
Ain't no middle ground on this.
I mean, Deuteronomy was specific in saying that you're not supposed to be eating no shellfish, no bottom feeders, no catfish.
Mm-hmm.
I really so the Bible is some interesting fictions.
I like how you try to gracefully think of how to say that.
And there are some stories in the Bible that you can take lessons from, but overall, it is a very misogynist, homophobic, classist work of literature. Like, all these rules on what you can't eat, who you can't fuck, what women should do, what they better not do. And it's just like, I'm not going to be able to abide by this. So y'all take care.
I'm just saying.
I'm just about to go suck a dick, eat some ribs, and lay down.
I'm just saying. These niggas don't want these.
Just because y'all focus on the Old Testament. You see, now the New Testament, it's a whole bunch. It's a lot better. The Old Testament, man. It get real in the field back there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think more, the Bible doesn't turn me off. Like I said, it's a good literature to read and then form an opinion for yourself. I think it's people in the church that bother me more than anything, because they are some of the most flawed, disgusting people you will ever encounter, who think they are perfect human beings, and I don't have the time or energy for that.
Well, like I said a couple days ago, the church is Jesus. The building is completely different. So all these folks going to the church, they just going to be seen. You don't really need the building to be in the church. Which is why people overseas who are being murdered for being Christians and whatnot are having church in their basements. You don't need the actual edifice in order to have church. The thing that gets me is how Christians don't want these gay folks to eat cake, but these Christians will eat ass.
Sir.
I had a conversation with the Bible Thumper on my Facebook, and he was really disgusted by feminism, and because he said feminism directly contradicts the teachings of the Bible. And then I was just kind of like, you do a lot of Bible thumping for somebody that has, for you and your wife to have threesomes with unattractive white women. So I don't really understand, what kind of games you playing here, but you are. And then he said, well, the Bible says you could do anything in the bedroom with your wife. Did you read Did you make it through all the parts, or did you what version of the Bible you was reading? The Pornhub New Testament, Pornhub version? I was unsure, but they are a different bunch of people, and yeah.
I'm a Christian with a ton of questions that no other Christians want to answer without getting mad, like I'm talking directly to them, which means I guess I am. But I really wanted to ask them, like, yo, like, what is it where your pastor has marriage counseling so then they can dirty mac on your mom in the midst of the marriage counseling? Like, if this don't work, here's my number. Nigga, you married, and so is she. What part of the game is it where women were stoned for talking to another man, but men were allowed to have 16, 17, 18 wives? What part of the game was it where, right, what she said?
What? Yeah, but some of the greatest scandals happen in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Like, financial scandal, marital scandals, scandals with them messing with underage girls and boys, scandals with them being abusers. If you want to ever find good mess and good dirt and gossip, go join a church home. They are some of the most contradictory people you will ever meet in your life. I just don't have the energy for it, and that's just one of the things I truly cannot get behind their homophobia. Like, it's weird to me, especially when there are so many undercover gay men in black churches. Like, so many. So it's weird. Like the Kim Burrells, that's why her big fat ass always fall when she wear heels.
Ma'am.
Now, baby, you was not even strong with a K. You was a strong 275, always trying to tiptoe some Jimmy Choos. And your ass be on the floor every time.
Hey, Donnie McClurkin said we fall down, but we get up.
I'm just saying, I never got hit with the Holy Ghost. That same woman got hit with the Holy Ghost every Sunday. I never got hit with it.
See, as the resident churchgoer, weekly attender, Bible study goer, I'm just going to say, church is nothing but a hospital. A hospital is full of sick people in various states of their sickness. Some people more than others. Some people are on their way to recovery. Some people are on their way out. So you're going to find all types of people up in the church. So yes, church is full of scandal, but there's also some good things that you'll see in the church as well.
I wouldn't mind church if a lot of them weren't so homophobic.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, that's where I draw the line. Like, and there are some churches that they are not homophobic and they create a safe space for the gay community. But
they choir sucks, so I mean.
Yeah.
Candice, go ahead and do your shout outs.
Oh man. I just want to give a big shout. Well, I forgot to say this, but happy belated Father's Day.
Thanks. Yes.
Give a big shout out to the dads, and Father's Day is different for me now that I have a child who has an active father, and so I appreciate it a lot more than I did growing up. So I'm always excited to celebrate it, and we'll give a big shout out to my husband, and the CSPN network, and Jeremy, Bianca, Curtis, and best of wishes to you, Classic. When you listen to this, go live your life and be in love and all that good shit that comes with new ventures in life.
Paint the walls white.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shoot the club
up. Yes. I just want to say, fuck Kathy Griffin. That's how the note I want to end it on. And you can catch me at London and Mommy, and again, 1/3 of the Ratchet Ramblings podcast. And as always, thank you for having me, Rashanii and Summer. We have to get you on Ratchet Ramblings or something. We have to get you on there.
Hey, I would love it. It would be a blast. I'll promise not to behave myself. I could do that. I do. And please, it has to be while Love and Hip Hop Atlanta is on, so I can say something about Mimi's titties. Okay.
We can get that set up for like this whenever your schedule allows. It could be this weekend or it could be next week. So just let us know.
Yeah, let me know. Or Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm not picky because Karen and them wigs, child.
Ooh, in that foundation, child, the ghetto.
Ooh, I wish y'all did Southern. What is that? Southern Hospitality, the one in New Orleans, because there's a woman on that show. Her foundation is at least 6 shades lighter than her hands, and every time I see it, I'm like, ma'am, like you were wearing cremation number 5. I need you to you ain't light skinned, boo. You ain't light skinned.
She got Wesley Snipes hands with Beyonce face foundation.
Yes, she does.
Hot shit.
Woo.
Summer?
Yes.
Go ahead and do your shout outs.
Well, I want to do a shout out to all the listeners out there. Thank y'all for putting up with my foolishness. Thank you for Rashanii for having me back. Shout out to my podcast co-host, D.H. Ali. Shout out to the beautiful people of Maryland who we had our first official podcast brunch last week, and we had a lot of listeners come out and hang out with us. So shout out to everybody who was able to make it and show some love and came out and kikied with us, and we really enjoyed it. Father's Day was this weekend, like Candice said, and shout out to everybody who did not take their father out, because I was able to get a seat at the Cheesecake Factory in less than 10 minutes. So I appreciate y'all.
Miracle.
Y'all are real MVPs.
That's a miracle even on an off day.
Man. I was in there praising. Won't he do it? Hey, shout out to should have bought a Kia, but I bought a Honda. I was giving glory. But yeah, you know what? Just shout out to life. Shout out to being a black woman in the United States in the year 2018 and trying to raise a young black woman and a young black man. Shout out to that, because it's hard being a parent. People don't tell you that it's hard. People don't tell you that having a relationship is hard. Everybody wants you to think that things are like rosy, but you know what? Shout out to everybody who goes through things and is not ashamed to be like, you know what? Hey, this shit is hard. I need some help. So shout out to all of us who are able to admit that and seek out help from others, whether it's counseling or friends or whatever the case may be. Shout out to y'all for not hiding behind it.
Yeah, shout out to sometimes being like, you might have to get the fuck out my house.
Listen, shout out to, you know what, I need to hang up. I'll talk to you another time. Shout out to, you need to just go to bed right now because it's about to go down in my Kevin Hart voice.
I just want to remind y'all, just in case you forgot from the beginning of this show to now, did not near one of us celebrate the death of whatever his name is?
No, we didn't, but somebody gonna say we did.
Exactly. That's why I had to say it again at the end.
Yeah, we just want you to know that we don't care. We are not about to uplift him as some martyr, some humanitarian. He's not the Princess Diana of hip hop. He's not the Mother Teresa. He's none of that. He was a rapper whose life was suddenly taken away from him after years of abusing women and being homophobic and things of that nature. So maybe they let that be a testament to be careful of the type of energy and the way that you move about in these while you're living and breathing.
Yeah, I mean,
so that people will want to celebrate your life versus being indifferent to your death.
That's a word. Watch what you do in this life because Brandy will come and get you.
Wait.
You ain't know Brandy was a Grim Reaper?
Oh, man. I suppress all statements. Also, two things real quick. One, had things to say about the fact that they are taking undocumented children away from their parents and putting them into basically concentration camps.
That's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
This I know that we hate Trump, but we have to be honest about the state of immigration and undocumented citizens here, and that sadly, and Obama had a hand in that as well. And I saw this week, I'm here in Colorado, I'm in Denver, if you guys don't know, but Denver is a really, really blue state, like really liberal. And the government just, passed an ordinance saying that state resources will not be used to separate undocumented citizens from their kids, nor even come and get them, period. They will have no part in that. They are welcome in the state of Colorado. I saw that Massachusetts did something similar or whatever, but yeah, they're putting those kids in basically chain link kennels, and they're laying on floors with blankets and shit like that. I don't know how you, as a human, but furthermore as a parent, the thought of somebody taking my child from me and then putting them in a dog cage is really infuriating.
It's disgusting.
It's gross.
It's disgusting, and like our Jewish homie said, this is how it started.
Mm-hmm. And it's so, to me, it's almost like I am waiting for a country to declare war on us, because this current government is just disgusting.
Yeah.
And Sarah Huckabee McGruff face ass is in press conferences just when that reporter was like, where's your humanity? Like, where's your empathy? Where's your compassion? She was like, really like, I'm not going to answer your questions. It's somebody else's turn. And I was just like, this bitch is a monster. She's a fat neck, under the age of 40, drug dog.
She's an unseasoned turkey breast. That's what she is. And she looked like she was malfunctioning up there because she didn't have an answer other than her talking points.
It's pretty gross. Yeah. And did you hear, Rashanii and Summer, that they were saying that a lot of the crops will suffer because they don't have undocumented citizens to come and work their crops?
Yeah, they said avocados are going bad, which is sad to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the people who are affected the most are white people, because white people love avocados.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about avocados.
I like guacamole.
I mean, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but white people do a lot with avocados.
Avocado toast. Avocado fucking toast.
I was like, boy, get that shit out of here. Yeah, so it's just kind of like, again, white people always work against their own best interest because they think they're spiting minorities. And
right.
On one hand, it's always like, oh my God, I love this song. And on the other hand, it's like the fallout being that parents are being separated from their kids and they're in unfavorable, disgusting living conditions. Like, it is sad, but it's like, as usual, white people work against their own favor. Like, so they're losing their health care. They aren't getting the jobs that was promised to them. And they're not going to be able to make avocado toast without paying $87 for an avocado. All I need now is for something really tragic, not just racist, but really tragic to happen to Starbucks. Then we're going to see an uprising.
Right. It's a shame, man. It's really disturbing because we're not talking about these kids didn't come here. They didn't come here by choice. They were brought here by parents who are trying to make a better life for themselves. They're trying to get asylum. They're trying to get away from the harsh conditions that they have in their own countries. And if they were white, if they were coming from Europe or Scandinavia or something like that, it wouldn't be a problem. But because they're coming south of the border, they're getting labeled, their parents and these babies. We're talking about newborns. We're talking about infants. We're talking about kids like London's age. And you're separating them from their families. And I can't get over the fact that they don't even know where some of these children are. They don't know where over 1,000 of these kids are. They lost them. Are you freaking kidding me? In the United States of America. Bruh, this is supposedly the greatest country in the world. This is how y'all trying to make America great again, by separating families. We saw how this worked before. This is disgusting. And if we don't vote these people up out of office, I'm just going to have to hijack one of them Space Force spaceships and get up out of here. Because there's no hope for humanity, man.
I'm just saying, when you look at the numbers of who supports this and who's against it, it's disgusting. It is infuriating, and it's not going to change. This is a country who's taking children away from parents since slavery. So while they're saying this isn't us, it really is. It's just that it's one group of us who are never going to stop because they'll never lose the power to no longer be able to do it. It horrifies me, the thought of these babies crying for parents that'll likely never see them again. Mm-hmm. That never stops. Just like y'all could look at whatever you want and say that their parents were illegal immigrants. You could say that their parents were undesirables or that they were possible criminals or whatever you want to say. I don't know. All I know is that these little kids don't know none of that. All they know is, where's my mom? And I was reading an article. Let me just read this first sentence of this article that literally just broke me. It broke me. This kid, well, I guess it wasn't the first sentence of this article. Now I gotta look through this whole shit. I ain't gonna do that shit. But a kid was told that he was going, as he was being taken away from his parents were like, where are y'all taking my child? And they were like, we're taking him to give him a bath. He's kind of dirty.
I saw that too.
And the parent never saw the kid again. Like, you're lying to these people. Because you know that if you said, we're taking him away, I'd fight you to the death. You try and take my kid away from me. You're going to have to kill me. And if you kill me, so be it. But I'm not going to just let you take my kid. So they got to lie to these folks to say, hey, they'll be right back, buddy. Hey, don't worry about it, man. It's insane how quickly this is happening and how nobody really nobody in power on the Republican side wants to really take a step forward and say, we got to stop this shit. We're losing so many allies over this. It's incredible. They're lying to the press every day. I mean, yes, there was there has been time where where children were like, they weren't even detained. They weren't taken away from their kids, or parents weren't taken away from their kids. It was more of a, if the parents were, what's the best way to say this? It was simply a way to fuck it. Let me just put it like this. Let me just read it straight out. This was not a new policy. This was a new policy created on April 6, 2018. John Kelly and Stephen Miller put it together. The children initially were taken away from their parents back in the day if the parents were literally, like, unfit. Like, super unfit. That's the only way it ever happened. And yes, this has been going on for many, 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 many moons. But, like, this is a horrible extent. I don't know. I'm ill at this whole situation because we could just as easily be next.
Yep.
I think that's what's really getting me. We could just as easily be next. But yeah. This is Single Simulcast. If y'all need us, remember you don't have to walk alone. I know it's hard to reach out on your bad days, so I'll try and find you on your good ones. I'll reach you where you are. 916-572-9016, singlesimulcast@gmail.com. For Shantae and myself, we're grateful for each and every one of y'all who take time out to listen and share the show, things of that nature. Y'all be good. Y'all have a good evening. And don't let anybody tell you that you are saying stuff when you're not. But at the same time, never take more time than is necessary to defend somebody who really shouldn't be defended. That nigga X, whatever his name was a piece of shit.
Yep.
And he did horrible things to women and would have continued to do horrible things to women. And he did horrible things to a man that he thought was gay. So, yeah, fuck that dude. And I said it. We out. Y'all be good. Peace.
This is Single Simulcast. Don't know by now that you slip.